Most people don't fail because the risk that they were taking was wrong. They fail because they didn't know how to navigate through the adjustment phase and they wind up quitting. And so, what I want to do in today's episode is I want to show you how to move past that. So, let's talk about it. For the last couple of weeks, we've been discussing the topic of taking a risk. We talked about everything from getting the courage to take that risk, taking a risk that's intentional and likely to succeed, overcoming the emotions of fear while you're taking the risk. And as we were wrapping up this series, I was thinking to myself, is there anything else that I need to talk about to help people? Because my goal is to help you take a risk and actually succeed when you're taking it. And there was one more thing that I could think of, and it had to do with being in the risk, like being in the middle of taking that risk and trying to succeed in it and get to the other side. And I realized that another reason aside from fear that causes a lot of people to fail is because a lot of people don't understand how to adjust to the risk. What I mean by that is that the risk that you are taking is likely something that is unfamiliar to you. And in order for you to succeed in this risk, you have to adapt to a new environment. You have to create new habits. You have to transform and become a new person. You have to develop new skills. It requires a lot of new things from you that you are not familiar to. And a lot of people have a huge issue with adjusting to that new and fully transforming to be the type of person who can succeed in a risk that they're trying to attempt. And so what they will do is they will try, but they can't keep up with that environment. They will try a new habit, but they can't maintain that habit. And so eventually they shift back to their old self and they feel like, well, I can continue doing the same things and still attempt to take this risk. But what they fail to realize is that insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. If you really want this thing to come to pass, if you really want this risk to be successful, you are going to have to become a new person. And that happens by adjusting to the new things that is required with taking this risk. And so what I want to do in this episode is I want to talk about two extremely important things that you need to do in order to adjust to a risk. So the first thing is you need to learn how to give yourself grace. So like I was just saying earlier, when you are taking a risk and you are trying to succeed at something new, it normally requires new things out of you. And the reason why we struggle to adjust to these new things is because we tend to have unrealistic expectations about those things. So when it comes to, like, say, learning a new skill, like let's say that you are starting a business and you're trying to learn the skill of marketing, you have this unrealistic expectation of trying marketing one time and blowing up and being like amazing at it. Or let's say that you are trying to develop a new habit. You feel like you're going to do this habit one time and the results are going to be there. And so what happens is you struggle to be consistent in that habit, which then makes your likelihood of succeeding longer. We have to realize two things. Number one, doing something once and expecting to blow up and be amazing at it is unrealistic, and that's not a mentality that you need to have when you are taking a risk. Because remember what we said, when we are taking this risk, not only are we trying to succeed and experience something new, but we're also trying to transform ourselves inside. And when it comes to adapting to this new environment, taking on new habits, mastering new skills, these are things that we have to get accustomed to doing regardless of if we are expecting a big result in return. When you have something that is a part of your character and it is a part of your identity and it's a habit that you just always do, you do it regardless of if you see a result or if you don't. And so you have to get out of the mentality of feeling like this is something that I should only do to see this result that I'm seeking. No, this is something that I should become, and I should be doing it on a consistent basis, whether a result comes or whether it doesn't. The second thing that we have to remember is that change takes time. To think that you are going to do something one time and automatically be good at it is just more than likely not going to happen. And if you struggle with this and you feel like you get discouraged every time that you try something new and you realize that you're not good at it, I want you to tell yourself, mastering a skill doesn't happen overnight. It happens over time. The more you do something, the more you become accustomed to something, the more you practice something, the better you will get at it. And if you're wondering how, then let's go to the second most important thing that you need to know on this journey. The second most important thing that you need to understand is how to learn from your mistakes. When you are trying to adapt to something or you are trying to change an area about yourself, you're going to learn that every single mistake that you make has the possibility to bring you towards greatness. And I know that a lot of people teach that every single step that you take is going to bring you towards greatness and is going to bring you a step closer. But I don't teach it that way. And the reason why is because that would be me lying to you. The only way that this mistake is going to bring you closer to greatness is if you make the decision to learn from it. If you are the type of person where you make a mistake or you fell at something and you realize that this thing is not working in the way that you are trying to work it, but instead of learning from it, trying to see what you did wrong, what you could do better, what happened, what went wrong, and trying to adjust things to make it work better next time, if you are not that type of person and you are the type of person who's still going to work it the way that you've been working it and see that it's not working and still refusing to change anything about it, guess what? Your mistakes and your failures are not going to bring you closer to greatness. Your mistakes and your failures are going to cause you to waste a lot of time. But if you learn how to be the type of person who can observe your actions, who can observe the failures, who can learn something in every situation, like I said, you look at this and you say, what went wrong? What was my strongest points? What was my weakest points? What can I do about my weakest points to make it better? What can I tweak about this to get it to work more successfully next time? And you keep adjusting as you go. You're learning and adjusting as you go through every single failure. Eventually, you are going to get to a point where you finally get it right. So, as you are taking this risk and as you are making mistakes and you're failing from it, instead of getting discouraged and allowing it to form your identity and telling yourself that you should turn around and you should go back to where you started, or maybe you're just not equipped for this journey. Instead, I want you to look at your actions. I want you to look at what you did and align it with the results and ask yourself, what can I do differently? What areas am I struggling in? What am I fully not understanding? Ask yourself these questions and learn from your mistakes so that you can do it better next time. And so if you are the type of person where you found the courage to step out and take a risk in the direction of something that you have been desiring, and you've come to the realization that taking this risk was a little harder than what you expected, this is not a sign for you to give up. This is not a sign for you to turn back and go back to where you came from. This is a sign for you to adjust to the new and adapt to the new that God is about to bring you to. You have to learn how to master the new things that you are trying to adjust yourself to. And remember that mastery does not happen instantly. Mastery happens over time. And so you have to give yourself grace when you make mistakes. You have to stop taking these mistakes and allowing it to form your identity and put doubts in your mind telling you that you can't do this, or you're not worthy of this, or you can't have this, or you don't have what it takes. And instead, you have to learn and you have to adjust. You have to adjust to the new that you are doing, and you have to adjust to the new season that you are about to enter. That is the only way for you to see success in this area. But that is all that I have for you today. Before we go, I do have a weekly action step that I would love to give you. So sometime this week, I want you to identify one area of your risk where you feel stuck or frustrated. Once you identified that area, I want you to write down 3 things. Number 1, what specifically is not working in that area? Number 2, what you think caused it. Is it a skill? Is it the wrong mindset? Is it timing? Is it your emotions? Is it a lack of clarity and you not having enough understanding? Write down whatever you feel has caused this failure to happen for you. And then number 3, make one small adjustment to help you do better next time. But that is all that I have for you today. If you enjoyed this, make sure that you leave a comment and let me know how this has helped you. And I will see you next week.